This is part 4 of modeling my guitar drawing, and this is where we're at so far, and I want to continue with a brief tutorial. Not so much of a tutorial, but more of a walkthrough video of modeling this thing, because I am somewhat of a beginner in Blender. So it really wouldn't be a tutorial, but for anyone interested in guitar modeling. This is my design here. You might remember if you've seen any of the other parts. We are looking at this image here that I drew, and I'm trying to model that. Alright, so here's where we're at so far, and what I want to do right now, I'll show you. Let's go into wireframe mode. I'm going to do the strap peg and the guitar input here. Alright, so very simple type stuff. And what I'll do for this is I'm going to use a cylinder. And let's just see if I can bring the cursor down to about there. So I'm going to go Shift S, cursor to selected. That's going to put my 3D cursor there. So when I bring in a mesh, it's going to show up there instead of somewhere else. And it'll be easy to move it down. So I'm going to do Shift A, choose a cylinder, 32 size, n-gons, no problem. I'm going to scale it down and rotate it in the X 90 degrees. And then I'm going to start moving it down here. And let's zoom in. I press the period key there to zoom right in. Scale it again until I get about that size there. That's fine. And I might scale it in the Y a little bit. So I'll have it protrude into the body. And then I'll make this section here. So I think the way I'm going to do that is, I don't really need to be in wireframe mode. But in edit mode, I'm going to put in an edge loop, say maybe about here, like that, and then I'm going to grab in face select mode all these faces and that one, whoops, and that one there, and I am going to extrude and then scale it, but not in the Y. So scale, Shift Y, so that I can scale it out, but it's not going to be in the Y direction, and it doesn't have to be the exact same size as my drawing. It could be something like that. Let's just have a look at what it looks like. First of all, let's bring it down roughly in the middle of the guitar body, and I can bring it out a little bit, and we'll just generally have a look. Okay, so I'll make this a little bit bigger here. I'll grab that face and just bring it out a little bit, and I think I will go ahead and do some beveling on this. So let's see if I can just grab this edge and that edge and Control B. Okay, so I don't believe it's working the way I want it to be quite yet. Actually, yes it is. Great, okay. I'm just going to put one segment by rolling up my mouse up once. Accept that. Come out and just have a look at that. Now this could be, I could look at that in smooth shading, and we might do that in a bit. I'll just go on a little bit more, so go back into this and go back into face select. Maybe I'll grab that face and eye for inset, and bring it in like this a little bit, and scale, Shift Y, just scale it in a bit more, and then I'll do an E to extrude and bring it in just a little bit and scale, so we get something like that. And that's generally what it would look like. Now if I do go ahead and hit smooth shading, it would look like that. But if I let me try adjusting this here. That didn't really do exactly what I want. So I could try the edge split, and it ends up looking like that. It's not bad. I could maybe do a little bit more. Come in here and put an edge ring there, up there. Maybe put one down here. And see how she looks. Did I not bevel? If I didn't bevel this back edge, I think I should, or didn't I? Or did I? All right, that looks fine. I mean, it's such a small piece. All right, so that would be, that's my strap peg right there. All right, so I'm going to make a copy of that, or do I want to make it a bit, I might make it a bit bigger actually. I'm just going to scale in general. I'm going to pull it out, make sure it's long enough. Yes, it is. All right, so Shift D to make a copy of it, and I'm going to bring this up. Oops, where'd it go? Bring it up here. Rotate in the Z. And I'll try switching to normal. Let's see if that works for me. It does. Rotate in the Z a little bit more. Maybe I do want these a little bit bigger. Let's see what happens if I scale it, just to roughly match the diagram. It might look a little better. On the other hand, it looks a little bit too big. Let's just try it like that. This, which is the same size as the other one. Okay, so those look fine for now. So I'm going to join those to the guitar body. Okay, so there's that part. Great, so it's coming along. Let's have a look at the next part. I wanted to do this now. I don't think I'm going to do it curved. I think I'm just going to do a straight piece and push it into the body. Sorry. Yeah, I just find it's going to be easier to do that, and it's going to look fine. So what I'll do is I'm just going to come to, I guess, another layer here. And Shift A to create a plane. I don't really need to move it around, but just to sort of get a sense of the size, you know, something like that, something I can work with initially. So that's going to be it. Now I'll go into edit mode, select that face, E to extrude, bring it up, not too thick. That's good. Edge select mode, I'm going to grab all the edges at the four corners, and then I'm going to go Control B, pull back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And that's my rounded plate right there. Let's look down on that. All right. And now I'm going to do the jack input part. And I think the way that I'll do that is I'll make sure that my 3D cursor is right there. And I'm going to bring in, let's say, a circle. Let's do that. Bring in a circle, scale it down, and bring her up. All right, so it's going to be there. So edit that, hit F to make a face, E to extrude, and bring it up just a little bit. All right, we'll just, let's go back into global. Make sure my normals are calculated to the outside. And rotation and scale. Now this is going to fit in the middle here, a little bit in, and then I'm going to do a little bit more work with this. Yeah, this is going to form a central tube, the actual input for the guitar, and I'm not going to drill this through and into the guitar. You'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go E to extrude, S, Shift Z, I think. Okay, so I'm going to make just a central sort of hole here. You'll see what I mean. Heat extrude, and I'm going to bring this up. Not too far. I can always adjust this later. And then I'm going to inset. No, I'm not. I'll go heat extrude, scale, shift Z, just bring it in a little bit. And then I'm just going to tunnel this down, heat extrude, and push it down in the Z direction, just like that. All right. So that would be the beginning of that, and I'll bevel this, and then I'm going to do a bolt around this, and that would be it, and then some screws or whatever there. So I will leave that for the moment. 3D cursor is already there. So now I'm going to make that a hexagonal bolt, and what I'll do is I'll use a cylinder with 8 sides, scale it down, and the idea would be just to sort of push this down, okay, but get the size right, you know, something like that, and you know, and that would be the input there. So we can just scale this in the Z. And while I'm at it, I can get rid of that bottom face there. I haven't been doing that very much. I've been forgetting to do that. But that would basically go, you know, something like that. Hopefully that's big enough. Maybe this is too tall, and so I'll adjust that as well. I'll also get rid of the back face on this. I won't be needing that. And whoops, I thought I could select that for some reason. That's this piece. I will get rid of the back face on that as well. And this guy here, yeah, it's the same piece, right? So what I'll do, I'll bring it down. Okay, so I'm going to select these polys, and I'll just pull this down. Now I want to do some work with this. I want to bevel this, so I'm going to select that edge and this edge. Control B and pull back with my mouse. Roll up with the wheel 1, and that is it for that. I'm going to do the same thing to this bolt here. I'm just going to select this top edge. Control B. And is it working? No, as you can see, it's just going over the top. So I need to make sure all my normals are calculated outside, and then rotate and scale, or probably just scale. So let's try this again in edge mode. Select that, Control B, and now it gets the side as well. I'll give it 1 segment there. I don't need it to be too big. That'll give it a little bevel to catch some light, and that is that section right there. Maybe it's sticking out a little bit much. We'll try that. All right, so again, I'm not going to drill this in through here and into the guitar. It's just sort of a static piece, and it's going to look like that. Is it going to be big enough? Yeah, I think so. When I put the bolts in there, that'll be that. So I could go ahead and connect all of this stuff to this piece, and yeah, I'll make some bolts. So let's just go ahead and go Shift A, add a circle, scale it down, and bring it up. And top mode, scale it down quite a bit more, and I'll bring it into a position in the corner here. So imagine that there's a screw or a bolt there. All right, and maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay, edit mode, face, heat extrude, bring it up, something like that. And let's go ahead and move this down to the surface, something like that. All right, so now I want to make this into a screw. So I will go Shift S, cursor to selected, then bring the 3D cursor there, and add a cube. Okay. Scale it in the Y. That kind of thing. Scale in the Z. And I'll use this as a cutting tool. I'm going to cut into this. I'll go ahead and Shift D, rotate Z 90, and join these pieces. And likely I am going to have to do some work on this. So I'll go normals, recalculate outside, and that. Okay, so this is going to cut in. I don't need it to go that deep, so I'm going to choose this Boolean difference, that for my cutting tool, apply, move that out of the way. I'm going to delete this. I don't need it anymore. And that's what we have so far. I'm going to go into edit mode. And as always, I want to bevel this. And so I'm going to choose all these inner edges and this outer edge, all of it. And then Control B, pull back on my mouse. No, it's not working quite yet. So as soon as I see that, I'll come out and I'll try rotation and scale and see if that was enough to make it work. Control B, and yes, it was. And I'll just come down a bit and I'll give it one segment. Okay, around there. Deselect, and that's my screw. All right. So I'll now take it and Shift D, copy it over to here. Shift D, copy them down here. Get all of these and that, Control J, and it's all one piece now. I can move that back to the center, just get it out of the way and make sure we've got origin to geometry. So there you go. There's the plate, nothing fancy or anything. Let's move this now back to the first layer and position it on the guitar. So we need to rotate this. Actually, I'm not necessarily going to do that. Let's just go rotate X 90. Let's do that first and then look at the top. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to rotate in the Z, just to sort of match the contour of the guitar. I believe I can now do this. Rotate the Z. And it's not going to be perfect or anything. Something like that. But let's move it down. And then we'll move it out if necessary. And we may even slide it along the guitar a bit to find a good position for it. But it's just basically going to sit there like that. All right, I'm not going to bend it or anything. I just want it to be kind of even. That's not bad. All right, maybe it is a bit big, so scale it down like that. Okay, we'll come back in. I'll make sure it's as close as I can get it. I think it probably is if I want it to stick out even just a little bit and catch some light. But that's all that would be involved with that. So in this video, I really haven't done that much. I've just added the strap pegs and that. Let's have a look at it in another material. Okay, as we get ready to continue with some more. Okay, so that's going to be it. Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I realize I've wanted to change something for a long time, and maybe I'll just get it done. I don't want this screw to stick out that much. So I think what I'll do, and I don't care if it looks exactly like they're in the right positions. What I'll do is I'll try to do this. Control plus to expand my selection, Okay, I went too far there. I'm going to go minus to come back 1. So I should have got this whole head region. I just want to push this in. And again, I don't care if it seems like, oh, the screw's in far, but this is back. You know, I don't think anyone's really going to look at that. I actually think it looks better if I manipulate a bunch of these. Okay, I'm just going to put them at somewhat random positions. I don't, you know, something like that. All right, so already, you know, I think it looks better. Maybe this one is still out too far. All right, but it's hardly noticeable. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. So thanks for watching.